I have two quick slides just to kind of orient us where we're at in the budget process. And so if you look up here, this is the process that we've gone through so far. It's kind of for the public that's here as well. What we've been working on to get to this point, we've had a couple work sessions. I know not all of you have been here. Today, we're almost to the final budget that we would go through it. One of the things we're waiting for, and this normally doesn't happen in a year, is we haven't received some of the state information because of what happened with the legislation with House Bill 389. And so we won't get that until the end of July. And so in the last meeting, we requested to have a special meeting on August 3rd, just to take those final numbers that we get from the state. It shouldn't be a long meeting, but be able to set that final budget that we then can notice in the paper. And then we have the public hearing on August 24th.
I'm sorry, you want to have a special meeting on August 3rd?
Yes.
From council?
Yeah.
I won't be here.
You won't be here?
No.
I think, because you weren't here at the last meeting, right? That's when we
I'm sorry.
talked about it and said it. Can you call in, or is it? I mean, we can do it with who's here. Like I said, the numbers won't be huge, but we can't set that final budget until we get the final numbers from the state. And they're just really behind.
Why? So that had nothing to do with 390.
Yep, it had everything to do with.
Why?
390, because it changes the calculations, and they're trying to get them working. They haven't even released it.
But isn't the allocation on new, but it doesn't matter, they're combining new and normal?
It's all on the L2.
That's what I mean, okay. When do we expect to receive that?
I expected to receive it the Monday after the workshop, which was the second week of June. And every time I've requested it since then, I've been told that they will tell us as soon as it's available.
Okay, so here's a question that, please record me on this, so that I can, and please share it with as many as possible. So, the citizens are paying the same amount of property tax, but the allocation then goes back to the city, and the cities are receiving 90%? So where's the other 10% going? Please put that one in.
It's figuring the numbers, where you start with the numbers, all that.
No, but that's the allocation, so, okay.
And then they're using a preliminary levy rate now to calculate on that, the 90% and annexation. We're using a preliminary levy rate, where before we always used last year's levy
Right.
rate, which was given. They won't have the figures for me until July.
So how do we know if the numbers that they give us are right?
You gotta trust
They
them.
have to trust.
No,
them.
thank you.
If the state gives it to
Thank you.
I promise that they'll be correct.
So, and you just mentioned the important part, you would get some of that information July 30th, and that's why we set
Is when the
August 3rd.
preliminary levy amount will be released.
Can you run that, if I can't, can I call in on the 3rd? Is that, are we okay, council? Because you're gonna get numbers, they're not gonna be a lot different than what we've got.
No, I
Because you
think-
already budgeted below.
I think we did a pretty good job
I do too.
estimating, but.
Okay, so those numbers won't be affected because we budgeted appropriately based on the anticipated numbers that are coming forward.
Yes.
Okay, so, but you just wanna verify?
Uncomfortable because I don't know what the actual.
no, that's right. Matt, are you okay with that?
July is.
With
Yeah.
August 3rd, because it's gonna be,
Yeah, yeah.
you're right, Dick? I mean, it is, because we're not gonna have real numbers. Yeah, that's all right. But we're gonna have budgeted numbers for us, but not validated numbers from the state.
We'll do the best we can.
As we do the best we can.
So most of
Okay.
the budget, we've gone through most of the numbers. What this affects is the property tax, which is
No, I-
our number for revenues that we can't finalize.
No, I-
So most of it's in place.
Brett, just one question,
Yeah.
you know that does that 90% in the following year, when it's not new construction, but on the tax roll as regular, taxes, if you will, does it go back to 100%, or we just lose that 10%?
We lose that,
Forever.
we lose it, yeah.
Not forever,
We can't
maybe
take it.
more later, but it,
Yeah,
Yeah, it continues until they modify that.
Yes, great question. What time, would you let Abby then let us know?
Yeah, 5 PM, normal time, on August 3rd. And we'll try and keep it brief because we're having more of these meetings than we normally do.
Brett, just a quick question, because we don't know the actual figure, and I know it sounds like you guys have estimated it pretty close, but do we need to have like a small contingency? Cause once we approve the budget, we can't increase it, I mean, we can decrease it, but just to allow a little,
I think we could tell you on August 3rd, because if we get the numbers from the state, then we can rely on those.
okay,
And then we're fine.
okay, thank you.
And if not, I think we'll have to hold off on setting that final. So we'll
Andy,
we'll see.
it's a workshop, so you can say that you've done a good job, or I don't know, I don't wanna put words in your mouth, based upon your efforts, are you comfortable that our budgeted number will not exceed, from a revenue standpoint, the anticipated actual numbers? Sorry to put you on the spot, that's all I wanted to check.
That answers, so,
Brett, why don't we send out invitations to our illustrious representatives from Boise to join us on the 3rd, and they can answer our questions.